Welcome to the new and improved Remo Show. Let's get it, let's go. Yo, what's up, y'all? What's goody, yitty, yitty? It's your boy Remo back with another V Show. Happy fall, y'all. What is good? Sorry I'm late. I had a lot of running around to do. Plus, I'm watching football. I'm betting on DraftKings, winning, losing, losing and winning. Hey, you got to be in it to win it. But yeah, y'all, let's get right into it. Y'all ready to laugh? Well, come on, let's laugh, y'all. Put your teeth in. We're going to laugh for a while. Yeah, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I want to tell y'all about the time I ended up in Sturgis, South Dakota. Never been in that part of the country before. Well, at that time, it was my first time driving that way. I had a load going from Omaha, Nebraska to Buffalo, Wyoming, and it was about a 10-hour drive. And I remember I drove north from Omaha to get on Interstate 90, and I went west. Went clear through the state of South Dakota, beautiful state. You know, a lot of a lot of Native Americans, some Mexicans. I didn't hardly see any Black Americans, but I did see a few melanated Native American tribes. You know, the copper color Native American tribes, because up until that time, the Native Americans I saw either looked to me like they were white or Mexican, and then you ask them where they're from, they say, "Oh, we're Native Americans." You know, but that was the first time I saw some copper-colored Americans. Anyway, yeah, I get outside of I had been driving maybe for like 7 hours at this time, and I get outside of Rapid City, South Dakota, and I'm ready to shut down. I was tired, you know, hungry. My ear was aching from wearing that earpiece, and so I decided to pull over at this truck stop in Rapid City, South Dakota. And I remember I was in the lane at the light, and I was just thinking, damn, should I shut down for the night or should I keep going? And I looked to my left, and I saw this biker dude. He had a long beard. He looked like one of the members of ZZ Top. Remember ZZ Top? He had a long beard. He had on sunglasses. He had spikes all around his arm, and he had on a spike vest. And so I looked, and he had a beautiful chick riding behind, you know, riding on the back of him. She was holding on to his waist, and she had a snake around her neck. And I'm looking at the snake like, God damn. I'm like, man, I hate snakes. Like Indiana Jones, I hate snakes. And I'm looking, I'm like, damn. And this chick was drop dead gorgeous. And I remember it was a Tuesday afternoon. And when I saw that, I said, yeah, I think I better shut down. I don't know something just told me to shut down for the night, you know? So, I'm looking at this chick, and she make eye to eye contact with me, and she waved. And the ZZ Top looking dude, he made eye to eye contact with me too. I thought he was gonna. I'm 22 years old at the time. I thought he was gonna say something racist, because I heard a lot of, you know, rumors about that part of America, you know what I mean? So I was prepared to, you know, accept whatever racism people had to say and keep it moving, you know, because you don't want to indulge in no racist conversation, because, you know, it could go left real quick. And I'm the type of person, even to this day, as soon as I see something getting hectic, as long as you don't put your hands on me, I'm out, man. As soon as I see somebody start to that want to argue or take their political frustration out on you, I leave. I don't even give them time. So I was about to leave. I was about to peel off. But he just looked at me and smiled. And so she smiled, he smiled, and so I waved back. So I hear him rev up his engine. Run, run, run. And he had one of them long, one of the motorcycles with the long front wheel. So he revved up his engine. So I moved up a little bit because the light was about to turn green. And so I look at her, the light turned green, and she pulled down her shirt and showed me her breasts. She showed me one breast. I was like, whoa. And he pulled out. He was just smiling like he ain't say nothing. Like, I don't know if he told her to do that or what, but it was funny. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. I said, I kind of like it out here. Now, that chick looked like Vanna White. So just imagine Vanna White just, and she was sexy too. She had on all them leather spikes and a leather vest and all that. I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to have to chill here for the night and then get up early the next morning and make my way to Buffalo, Wyoming. It's funny because I remember hearing Buffalo, Wyoming. I'm like, y'all sure y'all not talking about Buffalo, New York? Because I grew up outside of Buffalo, New York, and we right near the falls, Niagara Falls. So I didn't know it was another Buffalo. I didn't know it was a Buffalo City, another Buffalo City in the United States. So anyway, I sat down at the truck stop and you know, I went and got something to eat, got me a beer or whatever. I was just chilling, watching TV, and it started getting late. It was probably like around like 9 o'clock. It had just started getting dark, and the sunset out there was beautiful. And so I'm just laying there, and all of a sudden I hear thunder. I mean, I'm like, damn, like it was like a rumbling thunder. And I'm laying there like, damn, what the fuck is going on? Like I ain't never heard no thunder like this before. And so the thunder kept getting closer and closer. Cause you know how when it's about to rain, you'll hear thunder and then it'll stop for a second and you might hear another thunder again and then it'll pause. And then you'll hear some more pause. No, this thunder kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder. So it's so loud to the point now where I can't think. So I get up to go see what's going on. And it's like maybe 150 motorcycles, literally, maybe 200, pulling up into the truck stop. I'm like, damn. I mean, I'd never seen this many motorcycles in my life, y'all. Not all at one time. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I saw a bunch of dudes that looked like the ZZ Top looking motherfucker, you know, on them long front wheel motorcycles, them Harley Davidsons or whatever. And so I'm like, oh shit. So I'm guessing they there to fuel up or get beer. Or, I don't know. You know, I didn't stick around. You know, I went and got back on the truck where I felt safe. So about 30 minutes later, they all rev up their engines again and pull off. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, what the hell is going on around here? I knew nothing about Sturgis, y'all. Knew nothing about Sturgis. So they all left, and I said, okay, I'm about to. They had a laundromat at that truck stop, so I went in there to go do my laundry. You know, why not take advantage? So, and it was cheap too. It was only like $2 to wash, $2 to dry, something like that. And this is way back in 2002. You know, so that was pretty good. So I went in there as I was walking to get some laundry. As I was walking in there to get some laundry detergent, I saw a group of motorcycle girls, some biker girls, pull up on motorcycles, and all these women were drop dead gorgeous. I mean, fine, and they had on some skimpy clothes. They had like fishnet tank tops where you could see their nipples, and you know they had on pants with the butt cut out. They were drop dead freaking gorgeous. Anyway, one of them spotted me, like the finest one spotted me, and I spotted her, and so I just smiled, and she smiled back. So I went in there and paid for my laundry detergent, and so when I came out, she was coming in, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She was like, "I'm doing good," and she said, "What are we about to do some laundry?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You want to wash my clothes, honey?" I was like, "Yeah, why not? I'll wash your clothes." I thought she was joking because she didn't have no clothes. She was a biker chick with one of her homegirls. And she said, you truckers think you guys got a lot of game. And I'm like, she was like, what are you, Mexican? I was like, Mexican? I was like, nah, I said, I'm from New York. She was like, you from New York? What are you doing way out? She was like, I never met a black man from New York before. I was like, yeah, I'm working. And so she said, you gonna be here all night? I said, yeah, I'll be here till early tomorrow morning. I said, I gotta go to Buffalo, Wyoming. She was like, oh, Buffalo, Wyoming. She was like, I got family out there. You know, now I thought she was Hispanic, But come to find out, she was a Native American. She was from the Dakota Sioux tribe, and she was beautiful, long black hair. She was 30 years old. Um, Now at the time, she had two boys, and I know because when she told me she was going to leave and come back and chill with me. I didn't believe her, so she was gone for like 2 hours. I had already did my laundry by this time, and when she came back, she had a big bag of clothes, and she didn't ride her motorcycle back. She was riding on one of her homegirls' motorcycles. She was riding on the back of her homegirl's motorcycle, and so she got off and she looked. She knocked on the truck door because I told her where I was going to be parked. And she saw me get on the truck when she had left to go get her clothes. So she came back. She knocked on the door. I was like, yo, I didn't think you were coming back. She was like, yeah. She was like, you going to wash my clothes? She was like, I'm going to Sturgis tomorrow. And so I said, yeah. I'll wash them. She was like, nah, I ain't going to let you wash my clothes. She was like, I'll wash yours and mine. I said, I'm done with mine. So I had gave her $5. I had a bunch of change. I still had change left. I was like, here, they only take quarters. So I said, go ahead. I gave her the $5 and I gave her the laundry detergent, and she went and washed her clothes. And so while she was in there washing her clothes, some other biker chicks pulled up. It was probably like 50 of them. And so I stepped off the truck because they was all looking good. You know, I wanted to get a glimpse of them. And so they all saw me and flashed their breasts. So when the chick came out, her name was Vanessa. Good luck looking up a Native American chick in South Dakota named Vanessa. Anyway, Vanessa came out and she was like, "Did all them girls show you their breasts?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up with that?" I said, "Is that a thing out here?" She said, "Yeah, it's Tuesday, Topless Tuesday." She was like, "They do that around here around this time of the year." And I said, "What's going on?" She was like, "Sturgis." She was like, "Didn't I tell you?" I was like, "I think you mentioned it." I said, "So what, every Tuesday they do this?" She was like, "Only when Sturgis is going on." And I said, what is this shit?" She said, "It's a bike rally. It's an event held every year." She said, "It's been going on for years." She said, "You ain't never heard of it?" I was like, "Nah." I said, "I'm from New York." I said, we don't know that. We don't know shit about no bike rallies." I said, the only thing I know about bikers is from the movie Easy Rider." And she started cracking up. She thought that was funny. And so I told her the part of New York I was from. And I'm not too far from the falls, one of the wonders of the world. She was like, "Niagara Falls?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'll take you there one day." She was like, "Oh my goodness." She was like, "Oh, I always wanted to see the falls," and blah, 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 blah. So, me and this chick got to know each other. We was talking like we known each other for years. And she became real cool. And she had asked me, did I know where to get some cocaine from? I was like, "No, I don't mess around with cocaine." And I was like, "Why?" She was like, "I'm just having fun. I'm trying to party." I already had beer, and on the truck. So, she had cigarettes or whatever. She wanted some cocaine. And I said, "Nah, I don't mess around." I said, "But if you really want some, I can find you some." Because back then, a lot of truckers carry cocaine, especially the Mexican truckers. They always had cocaine or White Cross. I don't know if you ever heard of White Cross. It's the shit they used to put on toothpicks. Truckers used to put on toothpicks. It's supposed to keep them up. You know what I mean? It's supposed to keep them awake so they could drive for hours and hours and hours. I never tried none of that. All I did was drink coffee, that strong coffee from the truck stop, and I drank beer. That was it. So hold on.